Welcome back. This is day 17 of our completely free newsletter business course, where we show you exactly how you can set up a newsletter business in under 30 days in the most profitable way, making sure that you have considered every single thing you need. As I said, we are going to be looking at Beehiiv from now on. We talked about it a little bit in the last video, and for the duration of this week, we are going to be building out our newsletter on Beehiiv. If you want to know which niche we've gone for this particular example, then check out day 5's video. If you want to know more about why and the different types of niches and which audience is the most profitable, then go and watch day 1 to 4. After that, we start talking about AI tools as well. So there's a lot of content in this course you're going to want to check out. But before we start building on Beehiiv, you're going to hit an issue. And I want to deal with this issue now. You see, this week we're going to build on Beehiiv. Next week, what we're going to start talking about is marketing. We're going to start talking about growth and getting people on your list. But this is actually something we need to start thinking about now, because you cannot just start thinking about this next Monday, because it is going to take some thought. It is going to take some time in the background, and I don't want you wasting any time. So if we start talking about where your audience is, as I said, in the first 4 days, we talked about who your audience is going to be and which audiences are going to make you the most money. We talked about AI tools in terms of writing your newsletter and setting it up, and we picked Beehiiv to build this thing on. But in the background, while we're building on Beehiiv and we're doing the welcome email, we talked about the power of that. And the first few emails in your newsletter series, we've got to write those using AI. While that's happening, you want to be doing some additional research in the background. Now, I've got 5 things we're going to talk about, and we will go into more detail on each of these next week. But the first place you need to look for your audience is over on social media. Okay, you need to head over to the different social media platforms. Now, we all know how many there are. I mean, you've got Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. You can include things like YouTube. You can do things like Pinterest. You need to find out where your audience hangs out. Now, I can't tell you that. You need to go away and find it. If they're a more professional niche, more professional audience, they might be on LinkedIn. If it's something to do with certain niches that do quite well on Pinterest, such as home decor or recipes, you might find your audience there. So go away and find out where your audience hangs out. It might be Quora, it might be Reddit, because that's where you're going to want to include in some of your marketing. This is going to be organic, and it's also going to be paid as well. So if they're on Facebook, we might look at Facebook ads, for example. We're not there yet, but go away and find out where your audience are. Starting up your social media profiles. You do not want to do them on every single platform. So if your audience is mainly on one platform, you want to start there. Start joining Facebook groups to do with your niche. Just start creating your social media presence. 1 or 2 platforms is all you need to do to start with. If you go on too many platforms, you're going to get completely overwhelmed. The second thing you want to do is you want to decide if you want to do some additional email marketing, and this might be a cold email as well as directly contacting people. So cold email, I'm going to show you some tools that you can use in order to do cold email. Essentially what you're doing is you're going to blast out to a load of email addresses that belong to people in a certain niche and let them know about your newsletter. Now, you are going to have to do this manually if you want to do it for free. There are tools that are pretty reasonably priced that will let you do this paid, so you're not spending a huge amount of money like you might do on ads. But if you want a free method of contacting your audience, getting their email addresses if that is possible. So for example, if they work in a particular location within a particular business, you might be able to get their email addresses and do a cold email campaign. Again, pros and cons of that one, but it might be something that is applicable to your niche at some point you might want to explore. The next one down here is podcasts. Podcasts are a great way to get in front of somebody else's audience. Again, you can go on Facebook, find groups where they have podcasts. People who run podcasts are looking for guests. You need to find somebody who's quite small, few hundred people in their audience, and go to them and say, look, I've got a newsletter. It's in the same niche as you. Can I come on, be a guest? I can talk about X, Y, or Z. And in exchange, you let me plug my newsletter. Podcasts are always looking for guests. So you can just go out there, find a load of podcasts, contact them. Again, there are tools to help you do that, but you can also do it manually. And again, this is free. All you're doing is giving up your time. You're getting in front of somebody else's audience within the same niche. So for example, if your newsletter is going to be about motorcycles, motorbikes, specifically, you're going to talk about accessories such as like helmets and GPS and things like that. You can go on to any podcast that is in the motorbike niche and talk to them, and then promote your newsletter to their audience, ask them to put the link in their bio, those kind of things, and then you can get some traffic to your newsletter that way for free. The next one is you can guest post. A guest post works a little bit like a podcast, but you haven't actually got to put yourself out there in terms of getting in front of a microphone or getting in front of a microphone and potentially video if the podcast goes out on YouTube. But guest posting is a great way of connecting with your audience when you don't already have any followers. So I always like with this method to go for forgiveness, not permission. So what I would do is I would create a small part of a guest post that I would think would be applicable to that particular website. Again, AI can help you do this. You do not have to do this from scratch. And if you want any suggestions of AI tools that will help you write a blog post in just a few clicks, then go down into the description, go to our website. I'll make it the second link down in the description, and what you'll be able to do there is go to our list of recommended AI tools, and you'll be able to find a tool in there that will copyright for you. I'll put a couple of videos for walkthroughs as well from some of our favorites, but you could very easily find a blog that has a big audience, and again I'll show you how to find out how much traffic a particular blog gets all day when we get to that point. Then what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to contact them, give them a little sample of your work, and then see if they want to feature you in exchange for you being able to promote your newsletter within the article. Again, people are always looking for others to do guest posts. It takes a lot of effort to keep putting out content onto a website, so the fact that you're going to do that is going to help them out. And anyone who reads that particular article will be able to get exposure to your newsletter and potentially join. Plus, they might also have their own email list, which again, they could promote the article you write to their email list, which again gets more exposure for your newsletter. And the last one is to network. Networking, you can just go to other newsletters that are in the same niche as you, websites, anywhere that you can find, and just start talking to these people and start to network with them. At some point, if you talk to them enough, you become part of their network, and they will be able or want to or offer to help you out. So go find where people within your niche hang out, not necessarily people that you want to have on your newsletter list, but people that you want to collaborate or work with in the future. And then start having conversations with them. Don't try and sell them anything. Don't try and pitch them anything. Just start to build up that relationship, that rapport in the DMs or in Facebook groups, wherever they are that they hang out. Maybe they're in a Discord group. Maybe they're over on Reddit. Start having conversations with them. Give value, so when you're at the point that you're ready to ask for some exposure for your newsletter, then it doesn't feel like you're trying to be salesy, you're trying to be pushy. It just feels like a natural step within the conversation. Okay, so this week, while we build out on Beehiiv, and you're going to be going through the same process of building your newsletter, I want you to be at the same time thinking about these 5 things. Some of them are going to be a no, you do not want to get on a podcast, that's absolutely fine. Maybe cold email just isn't appropriate for your niche, that's okay too. But decide which of these you're going to go with first. Start doing some research, start bookmarking some websites or some podcasts, or finding some Facebook groups, join them. Just start doing that kind of thing in your spare time while you're building on Beehiiv, so that when you're ready to actually market and that first newsletter is ready to go out, you are ready and you've already done some of that work behind the scenes, so you're not dragging your heels and you can just keep rolling with this entire process. If you click on the card now that you can see, you can find some of our recommended copywriting tools and walkthroughs, so you can see which is the best one. There's some coupon codes down in the description as well if you need a discount on some software. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next one.